Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this episode, we're going to be replacing the gearbox mount as mentioned on this video up here, because as you've seen, one of the actual bolts that goes through the mount, let me see if I can show you. So basically, since the accident, this one here is bent, as you can see on the photo on the screen right now. Right, so we're going to be replacing this. It shouldn't be a bad job, but I don't want to say it too out loud because we always say that. And then, but as usual, before we get too deep into today's video, let's roll the intro. While I'm doing this, Lee's going to be trying to pull out those two dents right there, one there, and we'll see if we can do anything with the one at the bottom, just because I'm sick and tired of fucking seeing them. So, so hopefully we can get, I mean, I'm not that bothered about the fucking golden door and golden wing, but those there, they are bothering me. So I'm gonna get under the car and I'm gonna show you what we're playing with. So this is the bracket that holds the gearbox mount that goes from one side of the car to the other side, as you can see, over the exhaust, and then the gearbox mount is right there. Okay, so it's that bit right there, and as you can see, that bolt on that side is the one that is actually bent. So what we're gonna have to remove is these bolts here. So we go 1, 2 and 3 here, same on that side. Then we're gonna have, I think it's 3 here as well, I'll show you in a minute anyway, and then we're gonna have 4 that actually holds to the gearbox mount. So what I've done is I put the cars on jacks, and then I put a piece of wood just touching on the gearbox oil pan. We don't want to push the gearbox up. What we want to do is hold it in place. I'm gonna remove this pipe because I got proper bolts now to put here with the spring. So I'm gonna remove that so it's easier for us to actually get to it. So let me do that first and then I'll come back to you. Now that I remove what it is on this first, is the third cat, you can see now your O2 sensor right there, and it comes from the downpipe. We can see the whole gearbox mount, and you can see it right here. You can see it right there, this one here, how it's bent. That shouldn't be like that. So I have soaked all the bolts to make it easier for us. So we're gonna have, I think they are all 14s, and I think this one's, the small ones are 12s, and then the ones here are 12s as well. So what we're gonna do first is remove them, and then we're gonna remove the 3 on that side and the 3 on this side.
These are really fucking stuck.
But that's look better, that's feel better.
Do you want to try bring more? Or?
Yeah, tight there maybe.
I don't want to do too much in case it pulls.
There we go.
Comes off.
No, but that feels way better. This here now feels almost straight. It has a tiny bit just right here.
Yeah, it's just there.
Right there. Yeah. But this one here, no, that one feels good.
Just gonna get this fucking shit off now.
That's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I removed the rubber from it, which took a bit of a persuasion since that was basically touching here and I couldn't get this bolt out. So now we got that, we're going to remove this one, which will be the last one that connects our mount to the actual bracket. So let's do that one and then we can take the whole bracket off. Cool. So they're all out now. So we're gonna have to probably pry this again so we can actually remove it, because as you can see, it's a bit stuck in there. So like that. Right, that bracket is out, and now all we got to do is take this one, and there's one here and one here. They're 12mm, so we can take them off and should be good to go. That is all the bolts removed. I just left one there so I can show you how the big gearbox and the mount connect to each other, but bring the new one, clean that a tiny bit, and then reverse the process basically. We can see here the difference between the brand new one with all the bolts, with all the studs I should say, straight. We can see here that that one is not really straight. So as you can see, I mean, this is the original one, so it's been worn out and all that, but because of the accident we can see right there that it bent. That is cracked right there at the top, and basically that caused to bend like this. So we're gonna put this new one on, and I'm gonna give you all the torque settings as well for it. And that is one gearbox mount fitted. Sometimes, I don't know if it's because of the manufacturer, the way that they fit, whether they actually build them or what it is. What's going to happen, which happened to us, is that the holes are not going to align perfectly, like that hole up there and the one on the other side. So, and I'm not going to take credit for this because it was Lee's idea. What we did is we got another jack and we jacked the car, basically we jacked the gearbox up here, so against the mount. So what I did is put pressure on this to, let's say, expand, so you can align the bolts. So what you're doing is basically lifting all your gearboxes slowly up until you can get your 4 bolts in, and then put them on and put your gearbox down back to the jack, the original jack that you were using. Do it carefully, but now that they're all fitted, I'm going to give you the torque settings for them. The torque settings for these bolts that are 12mm is 40 Newton meters. Alright, so now that's nice and solid. We can put the cross member that goes here. We can put the nuts that they go here and the 3 bolts on each side. So let's do it. Once we got the cross member on and mounted with the gearbox mount as well, with the bolts through and the nuts in position, what we're going to do is torque this in place. So we're going to torque them, we're going to torque this ones, and we're going to torque them. So I'm going to give you right now the torque settings for them. Let's do that. Then we're going to put the exhaust back on. I'm going to put the new bolts in here with the springs so it sits properly, and then we're going to get it on the floor and we're going to just move it backwards and forwards and see if that creaking noise is actually gone. I tried actually to get a video from the inside with the gearbox mount creaking, but unfortunately I couldn't. Every time that I tried to record it never did it, and every time that I turned the camera off it did it. So yeah, sorry about that. That is now all nice and torqued. So these are 35 Newton meters. These ones are 40 and the ones on the outside are 45. So remember, 35, 40, 45. I'm going to put the exhaust now on and then we're going to test drive it, see what happens. Alright, so I've been driving the Forester for a few weeks now with a new gearbox mount, and there's no rattles, there's no noise like it used to be before. It's so weird to actually be able to drive the car now without hearing all that creaking and all that sort of like metal against metal. One thing that I'm going to say though is when you put the bracket underneath, make sure that when you're taking it off, take a photo of it and make sure that when you put it back on, unless that's bent, but if it's straight and in the right position, make sure it goes exactly the same way, because the gearbox mount got rubber, so it's going to want to push one side or the other. So try to always put it exactly what it was before, so the gearbox will sit straight and your prop shaft will be straight as well. And here's what I'm going to end the video. So if you've done this job before or if you were thinking about doing it, leave it on the comments. But as always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing if you do, and I shall see you very shortly.